In this video, we will learn about linear search. So let's get started. How much is it useful? And there are many algorithms present out there which are more efficient than the linear search in terms of the efficiency in finding an element. On the other hand, if we have to do something more with each of these elements in a given array, then we have to use linear search and it becomes more important in that case. So let's look at the real code, how we can code our linear search algorithm, and it is the most simplest algorithm in finding an element in a given array. And we will learn more about the binary search in the later videos. But for now, we will take this trivial example to learn the linear search, how it works. So let's take an example that we have given an array of integers. Let's integers, and let's the number of count is equals to 4. It is actually the number of elements, and let's initialize it with 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'm taking the trivial example so that you can have a better understanding. Suppose that we have to find an element, let's 2, right? So let's create a key variable. It will hold the required value that we want to find in this array, and now we have to check each of these elements one by one. That means we have to iterate through each of this element in this given array, and when it comes to iteration, we have to use a loop. At this time we will use the for loop. So let's create a for loop, create a variable called integer j equals to 0, and we have to specify the condition when the loop will stop. So let's for and increment the j by 1 at each iteration. So let's do that. Okay, now we are iterating through these of elements, and we have to check each of these elements, right? So let's integers. Remember that we have to access all of these elements present in this array with the help of indexing operator. If you haven't seen my video on the arrays, you can check out the link given in the top right corner of your screen. So let's continue on. And if this value is equals to the key that we have specified here, then we have to do something, right? So let's print out stdc out. We have found key, and we have to specify the value so that we can have better visualization. And at the end of this, we have to feed the line. Okay, now we are ready, and now we are ready for testing. And it is the simplest concept of searching, and we will also see the binary search algorithm, which is more efficient than this one, and it becomes very important in some cases to use linear search. We'll see later, but for now just take the output what it does, right? Okay, we have to compile our source file, and let's obj.o. It looks like that I have something mistaken here, so let's look what I had. So here I have mistaken, it must be j instead of I, but usually this variable is taken as I. In some cases it may be ijk, so be careful about that. So let's recompile this. So let's compile it. Okay, now let's create the executable. Okay, now you can see that we have found the key 2, right? You can see here we have found the key. Okay, let's take a more complicated example in which we have to do a more thing other than the searching. For example, suppose that we want to zero out all these elements except the key. That means we have to zero out this 1, 3, and 4, and we have to left untouched the elements which has the value 2. So what we can do is to just clear out this, and if this is found, then we have to continue this loop. Else, if it is not found, that means the current element has not the value which the key has. So let's zero out this one, right? So this is how it works. And now let's print this whole array so that we can see the result. For integer, create the another loop. Here I am taking I as the counter variable, and print out all these elements. We have to take some spaces so that we can see our elements separated by a space. Okay, now let's compile again. Okay, there is another error which is the same as the previous. J must be I. So let's recompile it. Create the executable. Run this. Now you can see that all of these elements which has not the value 2 becomes 0. So this is how the linear search works, and there are some situations in which you would need the help of linear search. But in case of the binary search algorithms actually skips some elements. Therefore, you can't do these type of things with the help of binary search. But when it comes to the efficiency, binary search is most useful than the linear search. And this is pretty much for this video, and we will meet you in the next video with binary search. Thanks for watching.